Well, hello, beautiful souls. Missy Rivers, psychic medium with you. Happy New Year to you guys. It is time to do the global predictions for 2025. I can't believe we are here. So guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Make sure you stay to the end because at the end I have a weird but worth mentioning category, and it might just pique your interest with a lot of odd things. So let's go through what this year holds for us as a species. So in numerology, we are actually in a year 9. Now, what that means, there is year 9 cycles. The last time we were in a year 9 vibration, we were in 2016, and before that, it was 2007. Now, in 2007, we had the prequel of a global financial crisis, which was later to be found one of the biggest events in recent humanity. In 2016, I don't know about you, but every time I turned on my television, I actually found a death notice of a celebrity or major changes, politically speaking, in countrywide. This year, it's not going to be any different. In fact, I think that heat is going to be turned up a notch. So if you're looking for an easier cruisy year, I'm sorry to say, I don't think this is going to be it for you. In terms of Chinese astrology, we're also entering a wood snake year. Now, the last time we were in a wood snake year was in 2013. 2013 was the first official year we were launching into the age of Aquarius. The last year before that was 2001. Now, the last time we were in a wood snake year, that was huge for twin towers coming down. So you can see the theme already developing where we're coming to an end. It's a crescendo energy with that 9 element there. A rebirth is really imminent and it's not going to be a smooth ride. So hang on to your socks, guys. With that wood snake, we want to have truth and earthy connection and really come back to nature as a focus. But that snake is really demanding truth and honesty and not taking any prisoners. But also a snake sheds its skin. It's responsible for transformation. So please know this year is going to be a big one. What this means for you in a personal space, you need to be asking yourself, what are your priorities? What are important to you? What are your make or breaks, and how do you find your inner peace? How do you manage yourself? Are you surrounding yourself with people who allow you to be you? Are you pushing yourself where you feel you need to go, or are you remaining in a place that will just do for now? You really need to be setting yourself up in alignment with your true calling, your true focus, and your core beliefs. If unfortunately you don't know what they are, it's time. There's no time like the present in 2025 to be asking yourself those big questions and making sure you know who you are moving into 2026 for that year 1 vibration. Now, the themes for this year will be transformation, reset, harsh energy, crescendo, truth unveiling, core beliefs questioned, make or break, splitting of the timelines, revolution, discovery, exploration, and advancing technology. Now, what this also means on a global scale, the systems will be changing and collapsing and having a rebirth. As with any rebirth, there is blood, sweat, and tears. We have to go through the challenging times in order to get to the good. And that's exactly what this year is going to be representing for us. So make sure you are ready to calm, ground, and really center yourself in here to get through. There will be a lot of challenging truths come out globally, so make sure you just know what you know and keep tight with your close circles. See the world for what it really is and take the rose-colored glasses off this year, and that'll help you manage your nervous system for all of the news that will be about to come out. Now, let's start on the different categories. I'm going to start with the United States of America, and even though I am not American, I'm a proud Australian. This is really, let's confess, it is ground zero when it comes to the global energy, and anything that happens in America is going to ripple out to the rest of the world. So it's a good starting point for a global prediction. So for America, for the United States, we have continuing their Pluto return. So for those of you who don't know how astrology works, or if you've never heard this term before, a Pluto return is a huge deal, and America is actually going through theirs at the moment. They're in this cycle. Now, if you're wondering why this is so significant, if you could go back, to the dawning of America when it gained its independence. That was the last time it was going through a Pluto return. So there is a massive rebirth and restructure for United States of America. I don't believe it's going to be renamed. However, I do believe that it will never be looking the same as what we knew it from 5, 6, 7, even 10 years ago. It will be really going through a rebirth, and it will be globally felt. There will be a lot of unrest and struggle, and the old will be gone, but the traditional values on which that country was founded, as well as meeting the new age 21st century hopes, will be molded together, and that will be the new foundation for what America will treat as its future self. There will be a third attempt on President Donald Trump on his life. This will be around on or around the time of his inauguration. I do believe this will be the last assassination attempt for some time, but I don't think it'll be the last ever, but certainly for some time. I also feel that there will be some dangers for his wife, and there will be a level of harm to hurt her. She will be okay, but it will cause a bitter unsteady energy within that family and within the Secret Service in that space. Now, with Joe Biden, he will not be going out well or gracefully from the White House, and his health and dementia will really struggle here. And as the year finishes towards the September, October, November, we'll hear some stories about him and how he's doing better, but he's really not okay physically. He's doing better because there's less stress and there's a few interviews going on, but he will kind of go towards the sunset and not know what to do with himself. So poor fella. Kamala Harris. Now, she has an interesting energy this year. She's not standing off the stage, but she's standing off to the side behind the curtain. There is a vowing energy for her to stay the course. Now, this is her committing to the people that voted for her and who really wanting to push her agenda still, even though she wasn't elected. So there will be some form of challenge or dispute or undertone to undermine President Donald Trump's inauguration or presidency as he sits in there. There will be some level of commitment that she will make publicly to, hey, I know I wasn't elected, but I'm still going to do all I can for you, and this is why. There is still a momentum of people following her and really supporting her, and that will feed into that United States of America unrest. I am actually quite concerned that will birth the unrested energy, will birth the beginnings of a civil war for America, which will start the recreation of it as a country, a new identity, so to speak. There will be a changing of the game for all global citizens as a result of America changing its tide. There will be also an opportunity for a stimulus package. I do feel like this is going to be granted by President Trump. Now, he is a businessman and he's not going to give money away for free. So when I say this is really going to be attached to an agenda and create and really push an incentive. Now, the way I'm seeing it is he's going to provide a stimulus package with strings attached to certain citizens, and we will give you this much money if you do A, B, or C. This will do 3 things. This will help mitigate the risk of a global financial crisis and create more value in the dollar and feed the economy in America. This will support families, which is what he was elected to do. And this will also create benefit for the country and building its standards and building its roads and building its infrastructure up again. So it has a 3-pronged approach. I am, however, curious if it's going to be too little too late, because I am seeing a global financial crisis brewing here in 2025. And I feel like it's going to be more around the May period. And if we have a calming of tides between May and September, it will be okay. If a global financial crisis has not hit these global scales by October 2025, I think we're going to be in the clear. However, if you start to feel the tightening of the purse strings, watch America through May to September, and we'll have a little bit more information there. The housing market that is right now, that bubble, regardless of the GFC, is going to pop. So if you're having a chance to get into the market or get into the rentals or, have a deposit for a house, that might be a little bit of good news for you. There is going to be increases in value for gold and silver. Remember, when you're investing in gold and silver and precious metals, if you can't touch it, you don't own it. So try to avoid pool allocated amounts. It's not real. If it's digital currency, there are real issues with brownouts and losing that digital information. So make sure you can hold that in your hot little hand for an investment. Digital currency will take a plummet after plateauing for a little while. Now, it won't plummet to dead stop, but it really will lose value for a period of months on end. And this is a result because there will be more varieties of digital currency, so the catchment will dilute it. So this is going to be quite big. The new 2 or 3 on the market will be great, and then it'll all move into the same pool and it'll start to plateau and start to plummet by the end of this year, starting in August. There will be a great awakening available for people globally. Now, what that's going to be is less of a that is me, that is them, and we're divided. It's not going to be a phase of we are different and let's focus on our differences. There will be a real opportunity globally this year to focus on, well, I'm human, you're human, let's be just human together. So there's going to be a real connection on an inner level, looking for similarities on a deeper understanding of each other. Now, I've got a new category here, the Great Unveiling, aka Disclosure. So this really launches off with the celebrities. Now, the celebrities in Tinseltown, what can I say about that? There will be a theme here about them being held accountable for their misbehavior and their abuse of power and really, look, not wholesome activities, and it's not okay, but look, we're not going to be surprised about this, are we? There is a real issue and cross connection with the political spectrum as well as the celebrities. There is an attempt to squall names and hide that at the moment, but as the year goes on, more and more names will be coming out, and we'll be really identifying the people that we once held on a pedestal or we used to worship on the television for MTV shows in the 80s, 90s, and noughties are really just human beings and highly flawed, and we need to take them off the pedestal. So that will be very, very real for us happening this year. So there will also be both real and fake alien encounters, but they will be seen, acknowledged, and publicized on mainstream media. But because they will be so very similar in nature, it will be very hard to pick the difference and distinguish. And as a result, one will be dismissed as fake and the other will be dismissed as a confusion, and the whole hype, which should be fantastically interesting for the world, will actually be quite dismal and a non-event. So I've got disasters, both natural and man-made. So in regards to flooding, major flooding areas, there will be in Iowa, Nebraska, Kentucky, South America locations. There is a real energy here to watch in Sierra Leone. There is earthquake energies and terror attacks, in particular Sierra Leone. New York will also suffer from a level of a tremor, which won't cause major building collapses, but the infrastructure of the ground really becomes unsteady as a result of this moving forward. And watch Illinois for a change of status there. Major events and changes to an area for whatever reason, major stuff. Washington State, New York, Mexico, South Island of New Zealand, Madagascar, Tasmania in Australia, South America, Estonia, Venezuela, North Korea, and really avoid the Yemen and Somalia areas, guys. That seems like there's a lot of terror attacks or changes there that you just want to avoid. I'm getting a big red flag in that region. I do have issues with fires for Madrid, Spain, Vatican City, Guatemala, and Oregon, United States. There will be a major development and change to the Mississippi River, perhaps having a connection to flooding and breaching its banks, a once-in-a-lifetime kind of event. Discoveries and advancements. There is going to be something really interesting that happens in the Bering Sea off the coast of Russia. What I'm being shown is there will be something in the ocean that will be used, whether it's a man-made device to grab something, to sample something that will be used, but it's very interesting and it's really going to take humanity to a next level in scientific use. There'll be something very exciting there. Now, in the area between Greenland and Iceland, something will be found below sea level that has healing properties and that may be introduced to some form of illness treatment in a really great way. So some form of microscopic bacteria or some form of special mineral that we haven't seen since the Ice Age, but has profound healing properties on the human body. There will be some sports medicine advancements in the world with some help from Kenyan people's DNA. So there's a few select men, I'm seeing about 4, 5 or 6, that will actually donate some of their DNA and will discover why they're so good at sports. There's going to be some advancements in that area, let me say. There's going to be some movement in stem cell research and application. There's just going to be more information coming out. It's going to be more mainstream and more used in society. So it's going to be moving forward. Now, in the mountains of the Mongolia, Russia area and that border, there will be some kind of connection of an old civilization. Watch that space. There is more to come, and there is specifics that will come out before October 2025, and it won't be just 1 or 2 things. It will really be, there was a plate, there was a marking, there was this, there was that. There will be more than one thing, and it'll be quite interesting and shed a light on an older civilization. Now, Canada will make some global movements and advances when it comes to a cancer trial. There will be clues to human trials and clues to the human species that are reported as successful. I don't know whether this is going to be a cancer vaccine or whether this is going to be a cancer treatment that will be intravenous, but it's not chemotherapy. It is something that is really working with the body. This could be connected to stem cells, but it's really going to be supporting people, and Canada is going to lead the way in publicly announcing some successful results. There will be some anti-gravity vehicles being used and being promoted. So we're finally here in the space age. Woohoo! So what this will be, they will be in use, the anti-gravity machines and vehicles, but they will be used in a restricted area. So we're not going to be driving down the shops for this anytime soon, but it is the beginning of quite an exciting time in that area. There is going to be an ancient race with a very strange language that has remnants found in a mountain depth. I don't think that this is going to be the same as the Mongolian and Russian border. I feel like it will be somewhere else in the world, but there will be quite a lot of energy with that. And I mean a very ancient race, strange language, never seen before. So that could really lead into some very interesting conversations. Okay, so then there's also going to be some advancements in terms of energy sources based on crystallized light frequency mixed with solar energy. Now, what this is going to do is scientists are going to find out that the crystallized light frequency based on some of this remnants is going to connect with the solar power, connect with solar energy. Instead of charging something up every day and then you use it every day, for example, this is going to be technology that is going to be light years ahead of anything we know, and it will be charged up for an hour and last for 10 years. The amount of charging time or exposure to the elements to be charged will be absolutely minuscule compared to how long it will last for. So this is going to be a lot of very extremely long lasting and clean energy in a fantastic way to support the planet. There is going to be AI upgrades. Now, I know there is already assistance when it comes to transplants, but this is going to take it to the next level. I'm seeing an energy of robotic transplants that will be controlled by the human mind on the next level. So if someone was to have a robotic arm, it's not going to just, my nerve endings are going to control it, and then it's releasing a signal into what would be my hand, the robotic hand, and then communicating it. It's actually going to skip that nerve connection and go straight from the mind to this. So if I'm thinking I'd like to just write a book, and I'm going to be standing over here and my hand will be just doing this, it won't be actually done with a muscle memory, so to speak, just telepathic connection. There will be an Egyptian disclosure of a past discovery from one of the ancient temples. Now, this is something that will have been discovered a while ago, but they didn't release it for whatever reason. There will be an energy of, this is the detail, but we still want to hold it dear to us. There will be a beautiful energy around Nepalese monk. He will be an adolescent male, and he is coming into his own with identifying visions and psychic abilities. He will be the new visionary of the 21st century. There will be space travel explorations. In particular, there will be 2 missions in space that will be notable in 2025. One will be connected to Venus and Mars, and the other will be connected to Saturn. One of them will lose communication for a period of time, but then that will be recovered. Now, that will also provide a good segue for scientists to talk more about black holes and how that can cause the time-space continuum, the delay in communication, and what that actually has bearing on from what we know. So major movements in black hole discovery and research. Time-space continuum and how that looks will really be investigated a lot. So even though this year there's going to be so many different upheavals globally, politically, so many, every single country will spare no expense for doing more research in the sea and in the sky this year, despite not having the money to do so. They'll find a way. There will be a time delay in quantum physics application, and I feel this is going to be connecting to a man that will be involved and connected to the Czech Republic. So very interesting there. Watch that space. There will be a report of possible remains of the lost city of Atlantis. So someone might stumble on something or do some research into certain areas of the ocean, and they will theorize and really prophesize that there might be something there, and that'll lead to more investigations. There will be an ancient fossil found in plain sight. This is going to be something that is ancient from a passed over civilization from about 800 years ago, and it will be preserved in a tile in a classic building that is sealed in an English-speaking country. Now, battles and challenges. I know a lot of people are wondering, are we going to go to World War III? Well, the timelines are splitting. So what I would say to you is you have the choice to choose your future based on your intention, your frequency, and what you put out there. So choose wisely, okay? In terms of battles and challenges, what I'm seeing there will be a fight or some form of battle in the Gulf of Mexico for whatever reason. There will also be a battle in and around and for the area of Antarctica. There is something in the area of Antarctica that the governments that are in today's society want to keep secret, want to hold back, and they don't really want to have everything coming out at once. So there will be some unrest on who has access to it and why. It's a really big deal there, and it will be played out. The Ukraine and Russian war does feel like it will be ceased by July 2025. There will be a threat of nuclear war, I'm not going to lie, but it really is quite, energetically blurry based on the splitting of timelines. I will say this, if there is a threat of nuclear war in any capacity, it does feel like it's going to be over United States, and it does feel like it's going to be a mini nuke, not a full one, if that is of any consolation to anyone. But hopefully we can keep that keep the lid on it, yeah, for all of our sakes. There's going to be major threats from China, who will demand better deals on export processes and financial investments worldwide. They will aim to strong arm many countries, and they're really going to throw their weight around with this and wanting something better. There will be mass shootings in Colombia of both local residents and tourists, and there will be shooting in Harlem in or connected to a school. This is really going to change the face of America for that time being. And there seems to be, like, even if there's unrest in the United States of America, the shooting in Harlem will touch so many souls. Everyone will stop in their tracks to stop and grieve in the streets. And that's also part of that humanity of, doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what you look like. We're all human and we all feel. Let's connect. So please be careful and be safe. For health matters and illnesses, I'm seeing that 2025 is going to be a lead into year for another global pandemic. This time it will be declared pre-pandemic phase. So the powers that be for 2020, 2021 for COVID, they really waited and waited and waited. And then everyone was saying, look, it is globally, let's call it a pandemic and move forward. Where they waited in the COVID pandemic to declare, they're actually going to jump the gun here. And before it actually has reached pandemic status, it will be declared as a pandemic. Now, it's going to be very different to the COVID energy. It does have respiratory connection, similar symptoms, but different outcomes. This is going to affect the respiratory area as well as the nervous system, cognitive function. This is going to be possible to create memory loss, whole body, severe pain, and that's going to be a good day. So look after yourselves and make sure you have plenty of good immune systems going. Yeah, the full effect of this pandemic will not be felt until the end of 2027, the beginning of 2028. So it is building up to that, and we may have it for a few years. So look after yourself and your family, please. There will be the pandemic will be born from a country of the Southern Hemisphere. I do feel it's either going to be Southern Hemisphere, African, or South American country. The real pandemic from COVID and from other times in the world, we don't want to be creating a pandemic of fear. So make sure you are adhering to logic, to human condition, and really supporting yourself with calm, logical way of thinking and thinking about all of the information presented to you rather than what's only presented by one area. There will be a push for support in the turbo cancer region of healthcare. A lot of people globally are going to be finding themselves facing growing cancer cells under the veil of turbo cancer. Now, this is going to be where Canada gets that push along of how can we support these people. Let's find a way to help these people who immediately find themselves in stage 4 cancer after 2 months of being checked. Make sure you are looking after your heart and cardiovascular as well. There will be global issues for heart and cardiovascular challenges, and there will also be worldwide fertility issues and increased use of IVF and still not be super successful. Now, going over to the royal family and the royals. Okay, so launching into this, King Charles will be begrudgingly have forced conversations about abdicating the throne. He will refuse to do so for a little while, in a last-ditch attempt to have the power and make his mark, as he has always wanted to do. He will enter England or UK into some form of semi-political deal. Now, this may not be formal on paper, or it could be, and he oversteps his mark as as a royal figure, but somehow he does a deal with another country, which generations to come will call him Charles the Fool as a result of this. Now, there will be a push for him to acknowledge that he has more cancer than what he has been promoting. I don't think he's going to be recovering from this, and William takes the reign, but not for long. Watch that space, how that develops. On another note with the royals, Sarah Ferguson, we all love good Fergie. When it comes to one of her daughters, now I'm actually feeling it's going to be her youngest one. Please forgive me, I don't know their names, but the youngest one may have a dire bad diagnosis. So I send all of my empathy to that young lady. Now, this is the weird but worth mentioning category, guys, and we have made it to the end here. So stick with this because this is really cool. So this is the it's interesting pile. Number one is dust from Saturn particles will be used on Earth and scientific developments. There will be a mission to Venus via Mars and have exploration. There will be major global brownouts with power affecting electricity, power, banking, and telecommunications, as well as internet access. There will be artificial intelligence creating jobs, taking jobs in the areas of banking, shopping assistance, and public service jobs such as librarian, etc. I do see an image of an artificial intelligent robot running aerobics classes and in gyms doing some kind of fitness workout for people. There will be drinking water will be on the global conversation agenda, and this will become such a hot topic because good, clean, quality drinking water will be identified what it looks like. So is it the stuff that we get out of the tap that is drenched in chlorine and fluoride and has been treated through this, and this, and has no nutritional value? And when we drink it, we feel thirsty even more. So it's going to be a real keynote subject in 2025. What is good water? How do we get it? And why haven't we been having it? And that really will create a level of valuable commodity for good water. There will be various countries globally that will have societal restructures that may affect financially in a bad way. However, they'll take the loss or they'll absorb it some other way because there will be rewards domestically. Now, this, for an example, will be, you know how people can have maternal or paternal leave when they have a baby? There is actually going to be a restructure in society where you can have grandparents leave and really connect with that bubba to come in. This is going to really support with an understanding it takes a village to raise a baby, to really be connected. And that will bring us back to that global theme of 2025, what are our priorities, and are we going to do it on an individual level, on a community level, on a country level, and on a global level? There will be 3D holographic technology available in homes. So if you'd like to watch a 3D film in your home, this is the year to get going with that. Now, last but most definitely not least, in 2025, I, Missy Rivers, am predicting that it will be the 0 point for humanity in the future to date back here now. History will show 2025 as a recording human DNA having changed by 70 to 80%. The population will have changed that much in such a short amount of time that in the future, they will rename the humans that are born or proceed after this year to be something different than Homo sapiens. This is a huge turning point for the human species on the planet, guys. In 100 years, in 50 years, and maybe even 20 years, we will not be known from this year onwards as Homo sapiens. This is literally a turning point that is changing humanity as we see it. I hope you are looking after yourselves. Make sure you get your good quality water and health and well-being. Make sure you're looking after yourself, having that direction. Calm your mind, calm your nervous system, have good thoughts, have good intentions, and be around people who make you feel loved, secure, and calm. Make sure you're investing in your skills, your organic vegetables, and your body, health and well-being. And I tell you what, common sense is going to be really needed. So guys, I am Missy Rivers, psychic medium. I do read for clients internationally. So if you need to contact me, you can contact me through missyrivers.com, some of my socials, or just reach out through email. Have a happy new year.